Everyone, and I mean everyone, is hella inspired by Warren Buffett. I mean, the guy makes money like it's nothing, and is arguably one of the best investors on the planet, who has taken full advantage of the markets to compound his assets and grow into one of the richest people on the planet. However, no one really wants to live like him either, and that's exactly why most people don't have the same level of wealth that he does. Imagine if you were a billionaire. Would you ever go to McDonald's and pay with coupons? Because that's exactly the kind of thing Buffett does. Now, here's the thing. In today's video, I'm not going to talk to you about all the extremely radical things you can do that Buffett does to save enough to invest. No. Instead, I'm going to talk about what assets Warren Buffett thinks you should buy and where you should invest your money so you can retire early. Again, this video isn't to make you a multi-billionaire, but it's to make you financially comfortable and successful enough to live your own life on your own terms. Hello and welcome back to Tide to Wealth, where you're just one sale away from financial success. Now folks, the truth hurts. And the truth is, without enough passive income, you'll never ever be able to retire. So if you're one of the people who are concerned they're not on track to retire, I promise you, you're not alone. According to a poll by Gallup, a whopping 71% of working adults are worried that they won't be able to fund their retirement. Buffett has a solution. Here's what he said. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. Okay, but you can't exactly clock in when you sleep to get paid unless you're like a mattress tester or something. So, how exactly do you do this? Well, Warren Buffett and experts have talked about certain assets that will either earn you passive income or will appreciate in value, beating inflation to help you retire. Let's start with the most basic, dividend stocks. Warren Buffett once said, if you don't get investing, don't keep investing in individual businesses. It's far better to invest in high-quality dividend ETFs than to play a game where you are the patsy. Yep, he's right. You see, the problem with a lot of investment options is that they've got a massive barrier to entry. For example, if you want to invest in real estate, you'll need a large down payment. If that's the problem that you face when deciding on where to invest your money, then dividend stocks are the right place for you to start. Look, investing is a game of patience, and forever assets like this can truly allow you to make money while you sleep. For example, companies such as Procter & Gamble or Johnson & Johnson have a solid history of paying dividends for decades. This means that they are the perfect assets for you to invest in if you'd like to make passive income. With their growing dividends that have a track record of consistent payouts, holding shares in such companies can give a reliable stream of passive income. Historically, both these firms have given around a 10 to 12% annual return over the past 30 years. And if that's not enough for you, you can always just reinvest those earnings to buy more stock. This will compound your investment massively. If you don't know where to start looking for dividend stocks, consider checking out the so-called dividend aristocrats, a list of stocks that have raised their dividends every year for 25 years. However, if choosing a company is too much work for you, you can always invest in broad market funds. Broad market funds, which are also called index funds, are investment vehicles that try to replicate the performance of the total stock market or an index. Buffett says that the best way to build your retirement savings is to consistently buy an S&P 500 low-cost index fund. He says that he thinks it's the thing that makes the most sense practically all of the time. And that's true. You make a passive income on investments which appreciate and generate income over time. This income is then reinvested while you don't use it. It really is the best bang for your buck. And since these funds offer diversification, you don't put all of your savings in one stock. So if one company's stock hits an all-time low, you won't be affected all that much. It keeps the process simple and over time gives you a decent income stream. Another asset that not a lot of people think of is commodities. You see folks, the commodity sector is extremely undervalued, and it's a market where it's possible to make a lot of money really quick. But you do need to be careful when investing in this market, because at the end of the day, it's also a market where you can lose a lot of money, because the market can be volatile and the prices fluctuate often. Look, Stocks, bonds and everything else is really a solid investment. But when it comes to commodities, these are the things that we need in the real world. For example, we need oil or cotton or even wheat. Now, how exactly do you get into commodities? Well, it's quite simple really. You don't need to be buying oil and then finding a barrel to keep it in so you can sell it later. In fact, you can trade any metal, energy product, or agricultural products as options, futures, and forwards around the world. This lets a whole host of people, such as traders, arbitrage experts, and hedgers, to trade and make money on commodities. At the same time, investing in commodities is inflation-proof, as the prices move in a forward direction with inflation. So if you're looking for something real, something that will go up with time, then commodities are the best investment for you. But if you think it's a little too complicated, we can keep things simple for you. You can just go and buy silver.
At a lesser rate than it was being consumed. And added to that was the fact that there are relatively few pure silver mines. Silver is largely produced as a byproduct of copper and lead and zinc, and so that it was not easy to bring on added production. So all of that added up to the fact that I thought that silver would get tight at some.
Silver is something that's going to be extremely important in the near future. Because of its excellent conductive properties, the metal is used in the production of electric cars, solar panels, and other sustainability industries. As nations all over the world move towards renewables, and as they move to ban gas-powered vehicles, silver is going to skyrocket in value. Gold has always made a lot of people a lot of money, and it's also always been a decent hedge against inflation. In fact, despite the world not running on the gold standard for ages now, it has massively increased in value. But even then, trading gold is still risky, as there isn't exactly a real-world use for it. For silver, there's a lot of real-world use, and even if your investment falls a few months after you buy it, it will still be good decades down the line. If you're looking for a quick buck, then no, silver isn't the metal you should be investing in. However, if you're looking for something long-term, something to sell off in your retirement, then silver is going to be perfect for you.
There are roughly 1 billion acres of farmland in the United States. They're valued at about $2.5 trillion. It's about half the continental United States is farmland. You could have all of the farmland in the United States. You could have about 7 Exxon Mobils, and you could have $1 trillion of walking around money. And if you offered me the choice of looking at some 67-foot cube of gold and looking at it all day, maybe touching it, fondling it occasionally, and then saying, do something for me. And it says, I don't do anything. I just stand here and look pretty. And the alternative to that was to have all the farmland in the country, everything, cotton, corn, soybeans, 7 Exxon Mobils, just think of that, add $1 trillion of walking around money. Maybe call me crazy, but I'll take the farmland.
Another investment that's pretty solid is farmland. You see, folks, Warren Buffett believes in investing in productive assets. And what's more productive than farmland? Let's talk about a few reasons why farmland is a good investment. First of all, farm values are rising. From 2019 to 2020, non-irrigated cropland rose 2%, and pasture land rose 6%. And that's because food demand is high. According to the National Geographic magazine, the increased global population will require us to double the amount of crops grown by 2050. Since only 7% of our planet's land is suitable for food production, and the majority of that land is already in use, an increase in food demand will lead to an increase in land demand. This will increase the price of land by quite a lot, and your investment will pay off, especially if you're young and looking to invest in something for retirement. Another reason why you should be investing in farms is because farmland is exempt from certain taxes. There are numerous tax breaks and exemptions given to people who invest in agricultural land. For example, in Missouri, agricultural property is assessed at 12% of its market value, which is significantly lower than the 19% on residential properties. Oh, and the interest on your mortgage on agricultural land is deductible from your federal taxes, which then lowers your yearly tax bill. And if your farmland is home to a working farm, then your farming income is exempt from the federal government's wealth tax. There's tons of other reasons why agricultural land is a great investment as well. But now, let's move on to the next asset you should buy instead of holding cash. Last but not least, yourself.
Well, I'll give you two pieces of advice. I'd invest as much in myself as you can. I mean, you're your own biggest asset by far. I mean, you've got all kinds of potential. All the people in this room, you're lucky to be in this country, gotten a good education, but most people go through life using up a very, very small part of their potential. And so anything you do that invests in yourself, that's the best investment you can possibly make. And then I would follow my passion. I mean, whatever turns you on.
All of the investments that we talked about today will need you to have a good income. You can't be investing in stocks, silver, land, or whatever if you can barely keep food on the table. That's exactly why, before anything, you need to invest in yourself. As Buffett says, you need to figure out what your passion is, and you need to follow it deeply. Find the one thing that you believe in, that you stand by, and that you enjoy, and then work on it. You should also focus on your health by exercising and eating well, so that you're alert and make the right decisions. Not only that, but being healthy will also help you work more consistently, which will lead to your success. And in order to increase your income, you should also focus on your mindset. Know that you've got what it takes and work hard towards your goal. So work on yourself and your skills, increase your income, and then invest that income so you can retire early. Well, that's all for today, guys. Let us know in the comments below how you plan to retire early.